white as snow. It followed her to school one day and caused a joyful show. The children laughed and clapped their hands to see the lamb so sweet. It wandered down the classroom aisle and nuzzled Mary's feet. The teacher gently shooed it out, but it stayed by the door, peeking through the window pane and baying more and more. "This lamb just loves our Mary dear," the teacher said with grace. And Mary smiled and hugged her friend with joy upon her face. At recess time they ran around, the lamb gave quite a chase. It leapt across the garden path and joined a skipping race. It nibbled on a lunchbox treat, then tried to eat a book. The kids all giggled as it ran with sandwiches it took. The principal came walking by, surprised to see the sheep. It bleated loud and wagged its tail, then sat down in a heap. "This lamb's a guest," the children said, "and very well behaved." The principal just shook his head, but smiled and kindly waved. Mary took her lamb back home and gave it grass and hay. They snuggled in a cozy barn at the end of a fun-filled day. That night she told the lamb a tale of stars and glowing skies. The lamb looked up and blinked its eyes as if it understood the skies. The moonlight spilled across the floor, the lamb began to snore. Mary whispered, "Good night, friend," and gently closed the door. The next day they went out again to climb the grassy hill. They danced and played and rolled around with laughter soft and shrill. They met a dog, a cat, a cow, and made some new best friends. Together they would chase the breeze, their fun would never end. They built a fort with sticks and leaves where stories came alive. And Mary was the queen of sheep who ruled from Meadow 5. The lamb wore glasses for a game and tried to act quite wise. It bade a speech to all the bugs who clapped with tiny eyes. When rain began to sprinkle down, they splashed through muddy streams and shared their dreams of candy lands and bouncing jelly beans. The lamb would follow Mary still through every laugh and leap, for she had been its truest friend and earned a bond so deep. Now everyone in town would say that friendships warm and true can start with just one little lamb and a heart as kind as you. They wandered through the orchard trees with apples ripe and red. The lamb would try to reach the fruit but got a leaf instead. They painted pictures side by side with splashes here and there. The lamb wore blue across its nose and Mary painted hair. The townsfolk came from far and wide to see this funny pair, a girl and lamb who danced around without a single care. They hosted picnics in the park with cookies, jam, and tea. The lamb wore Mary's old sun hot and bowed politely see. They raced with kites on windy days through meadows full of cheer. The lamb once flew up with the string and landed on its rear. They helped an injured baby bird that fell out from a tree. Mary made a nest of wool, the lamb gave kindly free. They learned to spell and read new books and drew each shining star. The lamb would nudge the letter L, then chew the cookie jar. At night they'd stargaze by the porch while sipping cocoa warm, and Mary whispered dreams aloud of love in every form. Then winter came with snowy days and games of snowball fight.